Okay. Hello, everyone. I'm Zach Henry. Good seeing everyone. Sorry for the late start. Hope you're doing well and staying safe out there. I kind of want to first jump in and share the screen here. And Ronnie, tell me if you can see it okay.
I will, and I'll just remind everyone that the participants are muted, but I'll have the chat box going, and we also have a question and answer on your toolbar. If you just scroll across the Zoom toolbar, you can ask questions there, or you can utilize the chat box. Welcome, everyone.
All right, Ronnie, can you see my screen okay?
Yes,
All
sir.
right. So we'll first jump in kind of how we did last week of what the client actually sees on the application, just to get so you guys, coaches can have an idea when questions come in or what it is they're actually referring to. So when the client first pulls up the app, they'll see the activities. They'll have the emojis listed at the top. Again, those are one of the most popular features where instead of typing in a long sentence or text how they're feeling, they just click on that and they move to scroll to the right from positive emotions, happy. If you scroll further right, they go to more negative emotions. So just an easy way to keep track, check in on how that client's feeling. And keep in mind, if the client has their GPS enabled, that emoji will pop up on their Journeys tab. So that's also another cool feature. And then below that is our activities, of course, weekly and daily. Coaches assign those activities, and your admin can create any new activities. So if you see some activities out there that need to be added, let your admin know and they can add them. That can be added to weekly and daily timeline. So once they click on this little button, it populates that check mark to let them know they've completed it. And I'll kind of show you what that looks like when we get into your coaches portal as well, so you can see that. And then they have their support tab, which is next, which is digital Rolodex of all their contacts to keep them all organized in one spot. Just kind of a helpful tool for easy access to a phone or to a message. Keep in mind that if one of the people in the support tab has the app, the Care Connect app, that will go through the app. If they don't have the app, then it will go through regular phone number, regular text message. So be wary of that. And I know a lot of people add after-hour numbers to the support line, and they can communicate with their staff that that number should be used after hours. And we kind of hit on that in the touch points of care tomorrow at 8 Eastern time. Just boundaries, but you can put that after hours number there. And then the screenings tab is something we're working on currently where we have the GAD7 and PHQ9, where you can see that on the web portal. If you have any screenings that you think you might like to add, and they are billable, some of them, you can find out which ones are billable through your organization. We can add those on our end for you. So like I said, we do have the GAD7 and PHQ9 available right now. So let me know if your organization needs that added. And then the resource tab is where your admins will add web links. I know a lot of people have been putting YouTube videos on there, like 3-minute guided meditation. We've started adding a bunch of YouTube videos out there to our Zendesk and YouTube channel. So if you see something you like out there, Dr. Mark Rohde, who's our clinical psychologist, just goes over stuff like, dealing with breakups or, addiction, dieting, how to stay mentally grounded. So those are all cool YouTube videos we have out there. So I'll show you guys that once we get to the end of this presentation. But any resource you'd like to add, check with your admin and they can put it out there for you and they'll have access to that web link there. Keep in mind that it does have to be a HTTPS, not a HTTP, because the S being secure. Then, of course, you have the messaging tab where you can make a phone call or video call. It's a little button up there. Or if you want to send a message, simply type it down there and hit send. Now, the good thing about the messaging system through our app is it doesn't give your phone number. So it's just a good way to communicate that way without putting out your personal information there. So let's jump over into what we'll see when you guys log into your web portal. obviously this is our demo portal here at the top. So we just kind of play around in this thing and use it to test. When you first log into your web portal, in this case, we were making an example of like a senior citizen home. So caregiver would be coach, and then seniors would be client. So let's do first password resets. If you get to your home page, you can reset your password or any other person in the organization. So if your coach needs a password reset, you click here, forget your coach password, and you type in their phone number and then hit send, and it'll send them a reset through text. Admin login, forget password, you would just need another email address, and it sends their email a password reset, because admins will log into the system through email. Coaches will use their phone number on the web portal. And then of course the clients, they just have access to their app. So if they forget their password, they get a text. So one more time, the coaches, a lot of the questions that come in is who has access to what? So the administrators only have access to the web portal, what you see here. The coaches will have access to the Cured Connect app and the coach's dashboard, this web portal. And then the clients only have access to the app. So that question comes in quite frequently. So let's log in as a coach. Phone number. So when you first pull up your coach's dashboard, this is what you'll see when you log in. The group call function you'll see to the right is something we're working on now, where you'll be able to make a group call to all of your clients. So we're testing that and getting the final touches on that. So that's an exciting new feature. If you want to import a large number of clients, let me know and I can walk you through that. You just have to simply do a CSV file, but I'll walk you through the first one so you have an idea. It's pretty easy once you do it. And then if you want to add a new client, simply hit new. Now this is a lot different from what it used to be. All the required fields, you only need 4 required fields. Oh, sorry, 5 with the coach. So first name, last name, mobile phone number, email address. Now we have given the ability for coaches to enter their own clients. Keep in mind that that will assign that client to you. So you can't add any secondary coaches yet. You'd have to go through your admin to do that. So once you add that person and hit save and send invite, then it shoots them a text message to verify their account and then create a password. So another popular question that comes up is include a reporting down here, and I'll show you what one of those reports look like. What that is catches the activities that the client does on their mobile app and puts it into a report for you. So if they click on this call, coach and sponsor, you get a daily report and a weekly report. So if the client doesn't want that report going to their email address, make sure this is off. Okay, and that report looks something like this. Let me pull it up here. This report goes to their email every day, and it goes to the coaches too. So it puts all their activities and tell you what their goals were for that week. So again, a lot of, if you're a coach with a lot of clients, you probably don't want that. So you can have your admin turn off your coaching reporting so you don't receive those. But once you hit save and send invite, it will go and we can get them rolling. So a few new things about what you see when you first log into the coach's dashboard is that it is sortable now by the little gray arrows. You see first name, last name, phone number, caregiver, last message. And if you don't know what a category is, just hover your mouse over that. So last message sent by the client, which would be text message. The unread category we're working on, it's a little finicky right now, so we'll keep you posted on that. Now the last mood, and what that is referring to is the mood right here, the emoji that they clicked on their app. So basically this dashboard is trying to give you an idea of everything that they're doing in their app and what they're pressing and what they're not. An activity, it'll tell you. most recent activity. So activity again is what that client presses on their app here. So again, all of it's sortable, and you can search by name and phone number if you want to do it that way. So let's jump into one of the clients here. So we'll just do mine, for example. This is my demo account. So they do have, if you notice, the phone button on the top and the note, which gets stored in notes and docs. So if you create a note while you're on the phone or during a conversation you've had with your client, you hit add note, and that automatically populates to the notes and docs section. Keep in mind, you can't delete it. So make sure you're thorough, but you can always add another one to it. So also in this section, you can drag any documents that you give to your client. So a lot of times you give them paperwork and they walk out the door with it. Well, here you can put a date and a time of what you gave them if you need to revisit that document. So going back to the dashboard, and then the phone and video calls, click on that. If you want to make an audio call, dial, video call, dial. So they're keeping that on every single part of the dashboard. You can see it, so you can have easy access. And any information that you want to edit on this client, just go over to the right here and hit edit client. It'll tell you who your coaches are, but you can't edit that field as a coach. Remember, your admin has to do that. So remember, phone number and email address, first name and last name are only mandatory. Anything else is just informational. But I did want to go over the support network tab, because any information that you enter in this support field will populate on the client's support tab on their app. So you could enter, wife or whoever, your after hours number, for example, and that would populate on the client's support tab. And make sure the daily email is clicked off if that support person doesn't want to get the activity report that I was telling you about. So cancel out of here. And then the activities tab, here's where you will add activities that are already pre-populated. So it's super easy. Just hit the blue little pen up here. If you want to delete one, hit the trash can. If you want to add an activity that's out on the list, let's pick one here. Get plenty of sleep. You can change it to weekly, 5 days a week, or daily, up to 5 times a day. Then you hit save, and then that populates that activity that you just added to the client's app right here. So cool way to help the client stay organized and stay on task, and just have a list of goals out in front of you, which seems to be helpful. And this jumps into the top of this page here is the calendar events. So the client will have to allow 2 things when they use the app. One, can the app have access to your calendar? And 2, can it have access to your GPS? These settings can always be turned off on the app. If they do allow it, you can see their calendar, and that's helpful for coaches, so they can say, hey, I see you've got a meeting on Thursday. Do you need help getting there? Is there anything I can do for you for that? So just a good way for you as a coach to help know what's going on in there, and there are daily activities as well. So again, they can turn that off at any time if they wish to, or turn it on. So let's jump to the journeys tab. I'm gonna have to go back a couple days here. Let's see. This is where you do it forward and back days. As everyone's been under quarantine, so not much movement. I got a Friday here where I was moving around. Okay. So here's a good one where you can say, I dropped my emoji, check-in emoji right here. It populates what time I did that and where I did it. And you can see if you want to know what date and time where it picked you up, just click on the blue dot at 4:36. Go down here, same thing. And it tells you the time. Keep in mind, since iOS 13, Apple has changed how apps can track in the background. So the best way for Apple to pick up location after iOS 13 is if the client gets on the app. and uses it or just opens it. With Google, it can pretty much still track in the background. But we like the general practices, and we'll talk about it in touch points of care. Maybe have the client engaging in the app a couple times a day. And that definitely helps for the Apple GPS if the client has it turned on. And then the notes and docs, like I said, that was where if you type in this blue note up here, it populates here, and then where you add your document. And the screenings tab, like I said, we have the GAT7 and PHQ-9. Here's where it posts those results. You just hover your mouse over the blue dot. If you'd like to export that to a PDF, just click the buttons down here. And again, we're working on getting more added on the back end of that. So that's basically it for the coach's dashboard. And I wanted to kind of jump into what our new Zendesk, it's an online help manual, number one. And then number two, how you can submit a ticket for help, or if you have any questions or suggestions. So you go to truemobilehealth.com and then jump over to support tab to the right here. So this takes us to our online resource where if you have questions, or even admins have questions, you kind of have it broken down into administration and manager portal. The coach's dashboard is what you guys see. And then the Care Connect app, which is what you see as well. We've also listed frequent asked questions. And here are the training videos if you're interested in going out there taking a look. We did put the touch points of care presentation out there. Those are on Fridays. I'm going to try to add today's, and I got to check, we recorded yesterday's admin, but I'm going to put these out here under this. And here are the self-help podcasts I was telling you about, where you can click on there. You click on one and it takes you to a YouTube video of Dr. Mark Rohde, and they're really cool breathing exercises and just stuff that can kind of go over the science behind cravings or brain health, or how to ask for help in recovery. So you can put those on that resources tab or have your admin put it on your resources tab, and it will populate into your client's app. So play around on the website, and again, jump in there, see if you have any questions, like, how do I reset a password for a client? So we've got it organized pretty well, and a lot of information out there. You set it up, and there's a YouTube video for you, and then there's some pictures at the bottom. So we're working on this to help this kind of be access for all information. So we've got it pretty close, and it's a really good tool. If you do have a question or a suggestion, you just jump to the top right here, submit a request, put your email, first name, last name, organization, a topic, inquiry, or report an issue. What platform are you having issues with? Important pieces, what kind of device you're using. If it's a super old Apple, I think before 5, as with any app, we can't support go that far back because it takes up a ton of resources. So let me know the model and if it's Android, or the subject of the issue or inquiry, and the description. And also, I put in the notes down here, please let us know if it's with one user or multiple users, so we can kind of narrow it down to possibly device issues. More times than not, Android having more issues because there's so many different Androids out there, as to where Apple is a little more uniform. And of course, any pictures or videos are helpful to us, so we can see exactly what the error is. But that's all I have. Again, check out truemobilehealth.com, the support tab, and that's going to be kind of be our go-to, where we put all our information for a one-stop shop for quick answers. So,
hey Zach.
Yeah.
Suzanne had a question, and even though she's a Packers fan, I felt the need to bring it up. There's an ongoing debate between us that the Steelers are the best football team ever in the universe ever.
Oh, goodness.
She was asking about being able to add multiple coaches to a client.
Okay.
And Suzanne's organization does not use the white label version, and I don't know if that makes a difference. But does the administrator have to add another coach besides the primary, or can a coach do that as well?
Correct. Admin has to add multiple coaches. So
Okay.
we've given the coach the ability to add clients now, but we wanted to leave the multiple coaches with admins for right now. So an admin would have to do that.
Okay, so Suzanne, since Rob and I are your administrator, all you would need to do is just email me or Rob the name of that coach, and we could add that to, also we would need the name of the client to add that additional coach. Hope that makes sense.
Yeah, are there any other questions? You can populate it in the Q&A, or maybe Alice, I don't know, Allison, if you can maybe unmute to see if we have anything. Oh, here, one just popped in here. Let's see. Was that the one you just answered, Ronnie? Can two coaches?
That's a different way to ask the question, I think. But so if there's a different coach, can they also add the client? Does that make sense?
Yes, that would have to go through the administrator
Okay.
to assign, unless you created them, right?
Right. Okay. So once the primary coach chooses a client, then that becomes locked, and then the admin would have to add the additional
Right.
coach.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Leave it to a Packer fan to get us confused here.
Does anybody else have anything? Let's see.
Great time for questions, guys. That's a great question, Suzanne.
Yeah. And again, I will try to get this one put out on where I showed you guys on the support, and I'll send a link out to everyone. And I've got to look at yesterday's. I don't know if that one recorded right, but we'll get that admin or get them both out there within the last couple of weeks. Like I said, if you do want to revisit the touch points, we are having that tomorrow at 8 Eastern time. And I do have that presentation out there on the Zendesk or the True Mobile Health Support tab. We call it Zendesk just so it's enlightening, but that's where all our information's at. But to get there, I'll show you one more time here. Let me populate that.
And Zach, while you're doing that, Suzanne had another question. Do admins have to delete clients? I do believe that the primary coach can delete the client.
Yeah, right. Yep. Both can, correct. So again, I will be getting that put out here on the True Mobile Health Support. So I'll walk through one more time just so we have. Okay, so again, truemobilehealth.com support. And then the training videos, we have touch points out there, which is going to be tomorrow, but it's going to be different stuff, every time. So I'll put as many as I can out there, but I also want to add this training today and then the